like the dedication to what you see sometimes, how things are made, how things are
Right.
sewn. So, and if fashion would treat, or brands in general, treat their employees, so the really ones who are like really sewing the garments as an asset, we wouldn't even have this conversation. We wouldn't need to have it because they're like, I don't know, they're seen like as, I guess, sometimes service which you buy in, and if you don't do it, I don't do it, somebody else will do it. But on this whole brand, like they have so much power basically, right? And if you think about ethical production, then I just coming back to my very famous example of Inditex, Zara. I want Zara to pay, or Inditex is it. I want them to pay living wages as the standard in every country where they produce, right?
Exactly.
So I am not saying don't ever produce in Bangladesh. I'm not saying that. Like I want people to have their jobs, like I want them to thrive. I'm just saying pay living wage. And as we both know, living wage is at least double the amount of minimum wage. And the minimum wage over there, it's just neglectable. I'm sorry to say, but it's not minimum wage. You cannot have a decent living there.
Exactly.
And that's a problem,
Exactly.
right?
First of all, we're not asking much. We're just asking them to pay the minimum wage. I mean, the minimal,
Minimum,
minimum wage, first of all, minimum wage to, they so they can live. And now the second point, the very good point you actually just said by yourself, which is that even the minimum wage, you cannot sustain your life over there. Because I'm from that country. I mean, I'm from Pakistan, but I know that
yes.
their minimum wage is nothing. The amount of, prices goes up. Even, in our countries like US and Germany, I believe it's the same. Prices goes up like in the years and in the months. Over there, the prices fluctuate every day. So because there
Yeah.
are no rules and regulation, even by the government, I'm sorry. So it's the thing that, they cannot sustain even with the minimum wage, and they're not even getting that. So
Mm.
we can just imagine how hard it is actually to, sustain in the place like that and with this amount of money. And it's very hard for me to imagine. I have actually been there in that situation, so I know. So
Okay.
it's very hard.
Mhm.
Exactly.
So I believe you asked me that question because you had something specific in mind. So what did you have in mind before you asked me that question? What did I maybe miss or forget?
No, I didn't miss. I was just, thinking about because I believe the sustainability, ethical production is a two different things. Because
Mm-hmm.
sustainability is related to our planet because we should be
Mm-hmm,
using,
mm-hmm.
all the natural fabrics or whatever the material we're using so we can help the planet. And the
Yeah.
ethical thing, I believe it's for the people, for the human beings like us to
Yes.
support them. So that was I just wanted to be clearing and getting your thoughts on this. Actually, it's told me before but I just wanted to be, be specific about it. So that's why I
Yeah,
asked.
yeah, you're right. So not every brand who's ethical is
Mm.
sustainable.
Yeah,
The other way around. So these are two different concepts. I believe they're equally important, right?
exactly.
So because there will always be a thing, if somebody, especially with people who I guess it's good questioning everything, but I
Mhm.
guess if you have a sustainable, so here's the thing, right? There is no one definition of sustainability. Not
Right.
even the United Nations have one, right? So there are so many, we have 17 development goals, and they're all very important. Who can say like it's more important to have like access to water than going to school? I mean, that's like, I don't know, like I guess I would say the water because otherwise you can't live, but you know what I mean? Like they're all like really important and they all play into one goal, right? And so if a brand is sustainable, I still think that if a brand is sustainable in like one or two of these categories, and for example, employs, I don't know, like women, I don't know, women in Africa who are like, and like capturing their like local heritage and craftsmanship and so on, this should be stated, right? So it's not normal these days. So that's one part you can be unsustainable. And if they're paid at least a living wage, then this is great too, right? So, but I guess yeah. So it's because there is not like this one, and that's the thing for me. Like there is not this one definition. I don't think for me, I don't need one definition for it. Like for me, as I said, like it's a concept, it's a way of living, having this conscious mindset, and always thinking about, especially like not only about yourself, right? So it's nice if I have something I can wear that I feel myself good in it when I wear it, but it's actually even better if I know that, this comes from a brand which aligns with my mission and also my values, my personal values. Like this is unmet. Like that's a very good feeling. And a really good example is also when you, at least for me, when I shop like vintage, and usually when I go like vintage shopping, I'm not really consciously going shopping. It's more like I stumble into stuff. And the best finds I've ever had in my life was really like I didn't know the shop. I was just randomly going somewhere. I didn't need anything. And I found something so cool. Like
Wow.
really, it's always kind of like the same story.
Mhm.
And here's the point that, I find something which is new to me. So technically, the thing is not new, right? Because somebody else, or maybe even different persons before me owned it. But here's the thing, like to me, the excitement is the same because it is new to me, as if I would be shopping and going for a brand new item. Like for me, it's the same.
Right.
But I think the way people are these days, I think I'm not sure raised well, like they're very used to whenever you have something to celebrate, it's like very normal for people that they go shopping. So I also like to shop, but I also grew up with a little bit of different mindset. So I remember very vividly, and that's like not so long ago, by the way, that, whenever you have like, I don't know, good grades in high school or something like that, you would come back and you would say like, my mom would say like, okay, let's go out and get an ice cream, right? A really big ice cream. So we would do that. I think these days, like it's very normal that people would jump always into like, what do we buy? Like, and I think we've lost the sense of like, why does it always have to be that you buy something, right? And I'm never against if you need it, like buy it, like go for it. I don't care, like really do it. But like, there is a human psychology behind that. If there's a reward, it has the same effect on kind of like your emotions.
Right.
And what did we miss? Like, why does everybody has to buy everything, right? You can go
Right.
out and say, like, I'm going for a nice dinner. You treat yourself. Like, I also sometimes do that. When I did something good and I'm very happy and I was like efficient in my work day or something good happened, like I'm going for an ice cream. Like, I don't need my mom nowadays is always here, of course, but like I still do that. And I think it's kind of like important to spend also time with yourself and that you understand, like your brain understands. It's like the same if I buy a new jeans or I find a used jeans, which is winted, or I go and get an ice cream. Like it's the same, it's literally the same effect. I guess a lot of
Right.
people agree with me, but there is a point in like, it's about a reward system, right? And you can break this reward system and say like I do something else. I'm not going to spend, I don't know, 100 euros on something new what I might want to wear once or twice or I don't know, right?
Yeah.
I maybe just do something else. I maybe go for a walk and get an ice cream, something like that, right?
Exactly. That is how you train your brain, you know. It depends.
Yeah,
If you just feel like if you wanted to go outside, that would be actually a better option. If you just go
I
out and
think so
buy an ice
too.
cream and have a walk with your loved ones, even your mother, father, spouse, or children, whoever is that. That first of all, a quality time with your family. And so second of all, you walk in the nature, you see and you interact with people, and that's good for your soul and good for your
Yeah.
mind and good for everything, you know?
To be
And
honest, I
yeah,
actually enjoy doing that also by my own because if I really have a day like where I have like a lot of calls or anything, or just worked a lot, like I just really enjoy sitting or walking outside and not staring on the screen. Like, don't take it too personal, but
right.
like it's just like, I sometimes I guess that's also because I am the only child my parents had, but like I'm fine with being alone.
Okay.